Hello guys, welcome to another video on the Kawakba channel. I am Kawakba myself. I just fudged up on my own name. I just fudged up on my own name. I'm trying to cut down my cussing. So, this video is about Sharha. She is one of my characters that's very important to the story. She's cousin of Koyasha. If you haven't seen a Koyasha video, you can see it, and I'll link it in the description so you can see that one too, and you can learn a little bit more about Koyasha. I will be doing a mega lore video on all my on the main 6 girls in my group later on when I have time, because school is kicking my ass. So whenever I do that, I'll do that, and you will know, because if you subscribed and push the bell for all notifications like that, and I don't know who you're gonna share it to, family or someone, that would be good. Anywho, let's go back to Sharha. Sharha is a 17-year-old girl. She is a swordswoman. She likes to color pink. She likes to bake or cook in general. She is a comic book nerd. She knows her really. She's very not really shy. She's very outgoing, and she is everyone's cheerleader when they most need it. When they need her most, she's there. It's kind of like the opposite of the intro to Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you really think about it. She is the cousin of Koyasha. I'm thinking cousin of Koyasha, and she is from a different sector. Now, she is a ranger in her own respect, and in my story, if you didn't know, rangers are basically the lawmen of... Yeah, so rangers are the basically the lawmen for our outer space world, and they patrol the different galaxies and sectors to keep the universe safe. In this world, humans live on different planets. They live on different moon sectors, and they even live on ships, like on DS9 from Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, which was a big spaceship, but where a lot of people lived. And so it had everything you need for a family. You could raise a family there, a station there. You could work as a technician. If you ever watch the show, you could look it up any facts about it. So that's basically where most of their storyline begins, and that's the main place. Is when they get done with the mission, that's where they're going back to. So it's a set place in space that still moves and stuff, but they'll always find it. It's home. That's where they're all from. And that's where they'll all, join after. In Dandadan, which is another anime / manga, every chapter ending, arc ending, they always have a big dinner, and every new character that gets introduced in that chapter, they all have a big dinner, and I think that's really beautiful. And so I want to have something like that for mine. So I'm gonna steal that. Put on a little sticky note and then stick that right there. No one's gonna ever notice, but it's a little thing, a little homage to Dandadan. So yeah, back to Koyasha. No, back to Sharha. Hello? 2 different colors, by the way. Okay, so Sharha, as I said, she's 17 years old, and in the story, she first meets Koyasha, and I might write most of this down in a Wattpad so people can get the gist of the story and stuff before I actually draw it, so you can follow along with that, and I actually have a script so I actually know what the fudge I'm actually doing when I'm drawing this, so I can be consistent with you guys, and you guys won't get bored and move on to someone else, because I know attention spans nowadays are very low, even though mine is not very low. I don't know, it's just how I was raised, and I see some people back. I'm going on a tangent, sorry. Okay, we're going back. Anyway, Sharha, she is a bounty hunter of sorts. She is a ranger, but she hasn't gotten her full-fledged ranger stripes yet. She's still in the training mode. So one of the things with rangers is that in the training thing, they start training when... I was gonna have it when they were 6, but I was what? Is it that serious? It's that serious. And I don't know, I might have them start training later, or whenever they there. So basically, she is training with her family. Her family are mostly bakers, so are literally bakers. They don't. This is not the profession. She wanted to do this out of just wanting to do it. But I'm gonna have to make a storyboard to make this justifiable, so people don't think she's just like, oh, you're just playing a female in a high place of power just because you want to. Even though that's partly true, and I do want to see more African American representation in the space genre. I actually gotta make a good story so everyone loves her, and it's not just being put there. That's also another thing. Forced proximity to putting a black person in a piece of media that we all watch and shoving it down our throats. It's like saying, like, I like spaghetti, you like spaghetti. Oh, but I should be putting Alfredo in my stuff. Okay, so I'll put Alfredo just because. Not because I like Alfredo. I've never eaten Alfredo in my life. But let's put Alfredo on this menu just because everyone else likes it. Like, it's dumb as fuck. It really is. Sorry for my language. It's dumb as fudge, really. So I'm not going to be doing it. That any character that I have in my series can be there for a reason, not just because I want inclusivity. If I want inclusivity, I would jump off the fucking bridge. Okay, let's keep it black. I don't know what that analogy means. Anywho, or entails. Sharha, I'm trying to make this so drawn out. It's only 6 minutes. It's fine. Okay, so Sharha, she's kind of like, kind of like a brooding, not really brooding. She kind of like hides her happiness, her happy side. And she's kind of like Pinkie Pie, if you've ever seen My Little Pony. Pinkie Pie when she was eating that rock roll and, living on the rock farm and having to eat rocks all day. And then when she saw that rainbow and it's like her hair starting to finally curly. Yeah, that's the relaxer leaving her body and the happiness, and that black girl joy rejoining her, So that's basically what happened with Sharha. She's basically been doing this by herself. Technically, she has a partner, but like every time she gets a partner, they usually they usually leave her because she's a little too difficult. She goes off on her own, she gets on the missions, and she takes all the credit basically because she did all the stuff. And people don't really like her because she's not really a people person. She's like talking to people, but this is false, by the way. People always say, oh no, she's a hard ass, she like stick to the rules. It's not because that's because she can't find any friends her age that can relate to stuff from doing. In this line of work, you deal with a lot of trauma. She's had to done that you don't see on a regular basis. Okay, in this world, you're seeing monsters. And when I mean monsters, you're seeing like monsters, like mental, physical. It's traumatizing at a point if you cannot deal with this. So with her, that's one of the reasons why she likes pink so much, because pink really does mean victory, but also means health. And so inside, she wants to mean that her mental state is healthy and her body is healthy, and she's not treating herself bad because she has to do this. She's neglecting her family or something. She wants to make her family proud. But how are you gonna make your family proud if you haven't made any progress yet? It's all bundles of, voices talking about, oh no, you can't do it, you're pussy, all those type of things. And she just wants to make her family proud, especially her parents. They put so much into that bakery, and this doesn't turn out. She said she could always go back to baking. She can always go back to baking, right? Wrong. I'm probably gonna have a plot twist where he's gonna have to demand her to stay a ranger. And the thing was, I was talking to my parents about this, specifically my mom, and I was asking her what tragic stories, it's over 2 years ago, what tragic stories should I put in there? Should it be the typical anime stories where one of the parents dies, one of them lives, two of the parents die, two of the parents, hello, do we have 4 parents, hello, both of the parents die, you're just a orphan? Or should I have her the parents neglectful one? And my mom was talking about how we make a happy story, but not all stories are happy. I'm trying to keep this realistic to me, and I'm trying to keep this realistic to the real life. Not everyone's story and not everyone's social social situations with their family are positive. We can see that in day-to-day life. Go on any social media and see someone ranting about their family. Nothing is heart drops and candy drops, nothing is sweet out here. shit ain't sweet. Like the phrase shit ain't sweet takes a whole, like, it's literally what it is, you know? But so she's trying to make her family proud, and Koyasha enters her life in a point where she really needed a friend. And if she did not have Koyasha, I feel like she would have not made it to the ceremony to become a full-fledged ranger. She would have not have, because this work is kind of like, it's like with driver's license. Now I'm learning that when you're driving, you do about like 50 hours, right? Until you can get your permit. Well, you're doing how you have your permit to get the full license. You got to do like 50 hours. Imagine she's doing that, and she's getting sent on assignment after assignment after assignment after assignment, and she's doing this. And most of them she can handle by herself. But like, what about dealing with the families? Because the one thing about this, the monsters in the series are usually children transformed by evil as adults. So you're gonna have to tell that family that their kid's not coming back. Their kid you did not save, you could not save, or you didn't have the ability or the skills to save. And you had to, get rid of them. But then you have to tell parents that that's not your kid anymore. That's a monster, and they got transformed, and you're never gonna see them again. They're dead. They died the day they transformed into that sickly beast. And you're gonna have to tell them that straight to your face. You know how that feels? And especially if you're gonna take it out on a teenager talking about, oh no, it's all your fault. You should have saved them. You can't do anything. You're like 15. What am I supposed to do? Mr. and Mrs.? Okay, what am I supposed to do? I'm just doing my job. And that really tolls, especially on a person like Sharaha that's very open with her emotions. She has to shut them off for her work, and it's very tiresome. Now, her family does support her, but sometimes family support is only an inkling of the stuff that we actually need. And that's why Sharaha comes in, because someone her own age, and this is why I wanted to make this story as well, because it relates to me at my age, that family support is important. You have a great base of support from your family, your true family that actually believes in you and supports you for what you're actually doing in your life. And for whatever good you're doing in your life, not evil. Okay, your family's supporting you doing evil, niggas, and fuck you too. But if you're doing good and your family's supporting you all the way, and they actually believe in you what you're doing, yeah, keep that. So that's what Sharaha's family was doing. But the thing was that she was getting so much support, she did not want to burn her parents saying that I need more support, and they don't know how to give that support. So this is where Koyasha comes in. Oh, changing colors. This is where Koyasha, I almost slipped up. This is where Koyasha comes in, and she basically, as a friend of age that's in her age group that can understand what she's going through, because she's going through the exact same thing. And Koyasha is kind of the girl that is, and she's more reserved than Sharaha from her own experiences and just how she is. She's more of the person to not blink, when something dramatic happens, and that's kind of one of her problems as well. She needs to open up more, keep secrets, and needs to know how to release that pain that she feels when she has to deal with the job. But Sharaha is kind of like the complete opposite. She's like a whole 180 from Koyasha, because she feels like all these emotions are bundled up, the worries from her parents, and making sure that she's okay. She doesn't want her parents to worry about her. Why would she want her parents to worry about her? They have the bakery and everything they have to deal with. Okay, even though in this world you don't really have to pay taxes, it's still like, in this world, like, mostly you can choose what you actually want to do. It's not like you have to do a job. It's like if you want to do that job. So that's what type of thing it is. And like they keep it's like a family bakery. And so this job is very risk taking, and people have died from it. So that's why her parents are kind of hasty about her doing all this stuff. But she wants to show them that she can do it, and she wants to do something herself, more importantly. And I gotta think of the reason why she's doing this, because I can't just have her doing this and be like a power bitch. If I'm gonna have a power bitch, I'm gonna have to have a good enough story for people to look at and say, oh, I understand why she's a power bitch. I understand why she acts like this. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm okay with this. And especially, so no male, especially white male, because I know it's gonna happen. It happened with Supergirl. It happened with Wonder Woman. Even though I don't like the Wonder Woman movies, don't quote me on that. You can call me on that actually. I don't want them to think of like, oh, you're just playing a female in here. Look at here, she doesn't have any backstory. It's just like the Birds of Prey movie all over again. The only difference, she's chocolatey brown. You know, say some racist shit or something. Something that would boil my blood. You know, on high temp. So I actually gotta think of a good out story, and that's what I'll be doing over these days when I can't sleep. So yeah, the creative process is a struggle, a real struggle. So yeah. Well, anywho, I have to stop talking now. I gotta go to bed. So I'm probably see you at the end of the video. Probably not. If I don't, hopefully I'll see you again in the next video. I'm drawing a My Little Pony character, made up by the way, and she's an OC original character. I hope you enjoy, and shalom, goodbye, or shalom, hola, oh, adios, goodbye.